Angela, welcome to the podcast. How are you today?
Thank you. I'm very well, thank you.
Good, good. I was going to introduce you as the Dubai Paddle Champion 2025.
That's fine, I'll take that.
Is that all right?
Yeah, let's go with that.
I know that's a really keen sport for you, and you seem to be smashing it just now.
Absolutely. I'm loving it.
Aye.
Apparently there's more business being done in the paddle court these days than the golf course in Dubai, but what a sport. It's great. I've met an amazing group of people as well, so no, it's class.
Golf, paddle, stuff I don't do, so I'll need to join you one day.
Get into it. Get into it.
So I wanted you on the podcast because I think you've got loads of insights, loads of value that you can share. You've helped me with a few things recently as well, which has been really, really appreciated. And there's loads of places where we could start, and you've covered that on different podcasts before.
Yep.
But I suppose where I wanted to start is we're in Dubai,
Yeah.
and that's a kind of exciting place to be. But I suppose I wanted to ask you why you came out to Dubai, because I'm guessing it was both life and business.
Definitely. I think the first reason for us was we have a 12-year-old, so he was then 11 when we made the decision, and the big thing for us initially was the safety aspect. And I didn't want to get to that stage where I was saying to him, you can't go out, you need to stay in. And I was bribing him to stay in at the weekend because I was worried about his safety. That was the big part. Stephen, my husband, was the big pusher. I am such a home bird.
Yep.
And could never see myself moving anywhere. We'd been here on holiday 4 times and I just loved it. I loved the vibe, and I think you'll agree, Stephen, as well. When you are sort of in business and you've got that kind of entrepreneurial mindset, it's very difficult to find your tribe or whatever, in the UK. And we didn't have a lot of people round about us, but every time I came here I felt that was different. People were genuinely interested in who you were, what you were doing, what you were achieving. Just loved the energy and the vibe, and of course the weather. And saying that, we're sitting here today like, whoa, what's happening outside? It's hot. So I think they were the kind of basic decisions for us, and people think it's all to do with business and tax benefits. That was very, very low down the priority list for us, but and it literally was a very quick decision. We made the decision on the 8th of December 2023, and we were moved out and settled by February 2024. I mean, it was that quick. Best decision ever. It's tough. It is tough. Leaving the family and, settling into a new country, driving the different side of the roads, new culture, new language, it's a lot to get used to, but 100%, 15 months in, best decision ever.
And from a business perspective, again, you mentioned that it's one of the reasons I moved as well. It's been in amongst that energy, and people wanting to do more. I've only been here 10 weeks, and there's good and bad with that, I think, because I've done more deals since I've been here. We've built more products since we've been here. But you also, this is my opinion, I find it hard to sometimes switch off from it as well. And that's the way I'm wired anyway. But sometimes you should be able to switch off. And me and Stephen, for example, were messaging each other last night at 10 o'clock at night just because there's stuff to do. Is that something you can cope with, or is it quite tricky? Or
Same as you, probably. I was always kind of like that anyway. But I think over here, the time difference, because you're still speaking to people back in the UK, so, you can be on chatting to people at 8 o'clock at night. Where I like it is my mornings are probably a bit slower, a bit quieter. And I get to do my thing, in the morning, gym, horse, out walking, etc., coffee, quiet time before you get into it. So I think it's the flip side of the benefits, but everything's so fast-paced over here as well, and we had a lot of quiet time in the UK. Our weekends were very quiet. Now it's the opposite. There's always something happening, there's always a birthday or a brunch or a yacht party. I know that sounds really Dubai, but it's norm, for people to invite you to these places, and but with that comes opportunity. So it's very, very tempting to keep doing that at the weekends. But I agree with you. I think the switch off time does become a little bit more difficult. You're on quite a lot. But that's also sort of mixed up with different things. Like I've said, the slower mornings, the paddle that you mentioned earlier on in the middle of the day. Yeah,
you can break up the day in different ways.
Absolutely. But I hear what you're saying there. It's difficult to switch off sometimes, but it's a good thing, right?
As entrepreneurs, totally. I think we enjoy being busy. Maybe not busy, productive. You enjoy being productive, and I don't know about you. In the mornings, I'm kind of the same. My creativity is best in the mornings.
Yeah.
I also like being here where I can do my walks. That's right. I can go to the gym. I can do things before the UK wakes up, and then by the time it's 10, 11, 12 o'clock, UK's waking up, you can get into more of the tasks you need to do back home.
Totally.
But it can be quite transactional here as well.
Definitely.
So
fast-paced, isn't it?
It's fast-paced, and everybody here that I've spoken to, they find it easy to speak to people, but maybe hard to make friends and stuff. Is that something, again, you've maybe noticed from being here?
So again, it's a funny one. I had a girls' lunch. Your wife Sophie was there on Thursday, and there was 6 of us there, and 3 of us were saying that we really missed the UK, bit homesick, and the other 3 were like, absolutely not, I'm delighted to be here. And myself and Sophie and one of the other girls were saying we don't miss it because we didn't have that sort of solid friendship group, a big social life back home. And so when we've came here, we've found that and got that, whereas the other 3 had a really solid friendship group.
Right.
So they were saying they're struggling a little bit to make those same friends. And listen, I think it's like anywhere, you meet your people, you get the people that you kind of vibe with and you trust, and you've got a lot in common. But
it's a brand new city, then.
Exactly. But yeah, I've got a lot of different groups of friends through horses, through paddle, through business, through Steven's friends and their wives, and so there's a lot of friendship groups here. But I see a lot of people say that it can be quite difficult to make friends. I personally haven't found that. I found it the opposite. But it's like anything. It's like, what effort are you making? You've got to put yourself out there. If you're in business, you've got to go to the network events. You've got to say yes to the opportunities. If somebody invites you to play paddle, you've got to just go. Like, that's how you meet people. And we were saying at the girls' lunch on Thursday, it's fascinating because there's so many different cultures, backgrounds, and we think that we've made this massive move coming to Dubai, and actually it's not. When you meet people, it's like, I was 5 years in Singapore, 4 years in Australia. I was actually in Dubai before that, and now I've ended up coming back, and I spent some time in Italy, and they speak 3 different languages, and you're like...
Opens your eyes, doesn't it?
I have lived a very sheltered life. I thought I was doing well because you're out in the business world and you're achieving, but you meet these people and you think, wow. So I think for me personally, I just find it fascinating to listen to their background, their stories, their experiences. And I think that's very, very different for me, which is why I've made friends. But understand if you've left a solid friendship group behind, it's probably quite tough to come out here and recreate that again, I would say. I didn't really have that, so it's new for me.
Good. Okay. So from a business perspective, since you came out here, I know you're extremely strong in marketing and sales. What's business been like since you came here? Have you changed who you're targeting, who you're helping, how you're helping them, or has it been very much a continuation from the UK?
I think a bit of both. So I still have a lot of clients in the UK. Since coming here, it definitely, the higher level aspect has been exciting for me. And you realise, you can help high level people with high level problems, and that's been amazing for me to find those clients out here. Where it takes the same amount of effort, to solve the higher level problems. But it's more exciting as well because you're dealing with a higher level mindset, you're dealing with, more self-awareness, bigger goals, bigger vision, so I probably do both because I'm also aware as well, people that invest in me don't want to invest always in the top tier because they're at a stage in business where they're just not ready for that, but they are entrepreneurial, they've got a good mindset. And so that's why I've got different options and different tiers where people can come in and access that help. But for me, I think the big thing out here is getting that face-to-face back. I've absolutely loved it, sitting down with the laptop and actually explaining how we're going to do something. And the online space is great. My mastermind is all online. But I love that about here, being able to sit down and, get the energy going and have those conversations. And so that's probably the big difference for me, the higher level connection probably. Because I felt like back in the UK, I used to only get those conversations from like audiobooks and podcasts, and then you're actually having these conversations face to face. It's inspiring and it's enjoyable. So that's probably a big change for me, I would say.
Yeah, and going back to the first part of the conversation, a lot of that's to do with environment, isn't it? Hey guys, Steven here with a quick interruption to the episode, but it's for good reason. I want to give a shout out to the official sponsors of the Built Different podcast, Suited and Booted. These guys are a premium formal and casual wear brand with stores across Dubai, Abu Dhabi and Glasgow. And I've been working with them for a while now, and to be honest, I was actually buying from them long before we became partners. I'm actually wearing some of their products today whilst recording this episode. They're on a mission to completely change the tailoring game, and they're doing it. The service, the attention to detail, the quality of the products, it's all first class. They genuinely outshine their competition. And what I love most is that we are aligned on values. They're humble, client-focused, and all about creating a top-tier experience. That's exactly how I try to run things too. So whether you're leveling up your wardrobe, prepping for your wedding, or just need to look sharp for a boat party, brunch, or big business event, go check out Suited and Booted. Head to suitedbooted.com, or better yet, visit one of their stores. You'll get the full experience and you'll leave feeling sharper, more confident and ready for your next big event. Now, let's get back to the episode.
Oh yeah, massively. I mean, the people that come here, whether it's with their job or whether it's with a business, they're here to improve. They're here to take that next step, go to that next level. And it takes a brave person to make that decision, whether it's, you bringing out 2 little young kids and your wife, or whether it's just somebody who's in their 20s coming on their own, it's equally as brave.
Yep.
And I think that's it. Everybody that you meet that's moved out here has made a big, brave decision. Mm-hmm. So you are meeting people with a different mindset, and I'm sure you're only finding that in 10 weeks that, it changes you as a person very quickly when you move country. You have to learn everything again, cultures, driving on the opposite side of the road, being mindful, being respectful, getting into a new routine. So I think everybody over here is levelling up to some extent. And that is what you describe as that environment. It's just totally different, You're encouraged to do well. I think that's the big thing.
A lot of your clients as well, though, from what I understand, are not just based in the UK. You've got clients here as well.
That's right.
Has that been intentional or just kind of happened that you've had both?
When I came out here, I was like, it would be great to get, clients in Dubai, but you don't know where your niche fits in here because it's a completely different country. Yep. So it took a while, for the first 6-8 months here, I didn't have any clients in Dubai at all. But then you get out and you meet people, and then you get introductions, and, you sit down and you chat away and you realise that there's opportunity to do business together. So it was the intention, but it wasn't easy as well, because when you're in Dubai, I think if you're a newbie, it takes time to build up that trust. People like people that have been here for a long time. They've got their feet in the ground, they've got an established business, and because they don't know whether you're here for 6 months of fun or whether you're actually here to build a business. So it's not easy, but again, it's connections and it's referrals, and it's like everything I did a post years ago about last year, how to become a millionaire in Dubai in 5 minutes, and it was tongue-in-cheek, but it's like, do what you say you're going to do, show up in time and be respectful and follow through, do everything that you say. You'll do really, really well out here, because I feel like the small businesses need to learn.
You're actually the 1% doing that.
Yeah, you are. So there's that, and like I say, if you get a referral over here, that counts as a big thing, so that's why it's important to get out and meet people.
So the type of clients you help then, what type of people or business owners are they? Are they in a particular sector? What kind of challenges do they tend to have, and how do you solve them or help them solve them?
I've done it all, Stephen. I've been that person where I set out just to help everyone. I just wanted to help and save everybody, and you realise that you can't. You just can't do it. And it's taken me years and years to find out where I'm going with this. And the big thing about it, I recommend this book to everybody. It's called The Big Leap by Gay Hendricks, and it's all about your zone of excellence versus your zone of genius. And I've read it a couple of times, and it really struck a chord with me, because what I realised was I was spending a lot of time in my zone of excellence, and that was things like, I was really, really good at leadership and, managing teams of people and productivity.
The operations side of the business.
Operations, because I've been there, done it multiple times. I've managed huge teams of people, and I learned a lot from it. So people were coming to me initially for help with that, and I was helping them with it. But then I realised one day, I'm like, I find this really, really easy, but do I love it? No, I don't. I don't love it. What do I love? I love sales. I love marketing. I love mindset. I love everything that, makes that connect together. And then I thought, well, why am I spending time helping people with leadership and employee problems, you know? Switch it up, focus on sales and marketing, because I always say this as well, half those problems disappear. You know, if you've got money in the bank month on month, it's like
money in sales fixes everything.
It fixes pretty much everything, doesn't it? And it's where I get a massive kick, and that is my zone of genius. That's what I'm sitting doing on a Friday night at 9:30, and I lose track of time. That's what I want to do on a Saturday morning.
Enjoy it.
Total flow, and I find it easy, but I just find it really enjoyable. So this is where I'd started to niche, and you know, nobody wants to niche. When you've got a wide skill set, it's like, I don't want to cut off clients, I don't want to lose sales. But actually, when you start to niche, this is where it becomes explosive. Speaking to that one person every single day actually attracts more than 1 in 5, 10, 20 people because they feel like you're speaking to them. And that's my ideal client that wants to focus on sales and marketing. Where I'm focusing specifically just now is with the business owners who've maybe already built a successful business, but they really want to take a big part of it online. And it's for more passive income, more reoccurring revenue. And I feel like there's a lot of successful business owners out there, but they're still trading time for money, you know, and that's not what people want out of life. They want time freedom, they want experiences, and they want financial peace of mind. And what I do helps people with that, and that's what I've realised. So I'm massively passionate about it, and the reason that I say already built a successful business, these people are so easy to work with because they get it. They come on board, they're aware that they need to invest in the business to help it grow. They're aware that sales and marketing fixes a lot of problems, and they've got a good knowledge and understanding of business. And so I'm getting them at a point where they're maybe coming into the online space feeling like a bit of a beginner again. It's like they're very knowledgeable and experienced, but it's like, how do I take this and make passive income from it? How do I build up that reoccurring revenue so that I'm not answerable to people every single day? So that's my kind of niche now, and I absolutely love it. Absolutely love it.
It's really interesting what you say there, because most businesses now, they kind of need to have some kind of online presence or AI thought process get into the future, because otherwise they're going to get left behind. And it's that attention thing. Like, I'm sure it was Hormozy or someone I heard say this, that it's not the best product or the best service that wins the day. You could have the best product, the best service, whatever, but if nobody knows you, like, you're not going to win.
It's the most visible,
most attention, most eyeballs.
Absolutely. Visibility is absolutely key. And this is another big part that I help people with as well, where they've built a business and they don't have a huge presence online, social media, you know.
And that can be scary for people that haven't had that
terrifying,
before.
You know, because they ultimately need to put themselves out there as the business. A lot of successful business owners, you know, they've built a lot of success, they've made a lot of money, but they don't want to be the face of the brand. So it's actually mentoring them into that way of, listen, if you are visible and you've got yourself out there, people are going to connect your business to you. And that's what people need to see. So it's like starting all over again, you know, encouraging people to get that confidence and put themselves out there and build it online. But that's what creates the passive and recurring revenue. No brainer.
It's funny because I've only recently, maybe the last 3 years, started to get online. I was very much the same. I didn't want to put my face to anything because I just was terrified of the camera. I hated being on social media anyway. I would only be on it to check the scores for football. Right? And the first few posts, the first few videos, the first few reels that I'd done, they were terrible looking back. But when I done them, there was no backlash. There was no really anybody slating you or giving you any so the fear of something was actually a lot worse than the actual thing itself.
Of course it is. Of course it is.
I'm guessing that's something you see all the time with clients, that you're actually helping to push them onto social and online.
Absolutely. Listen, this is where the mindset plays a massive part, because, you know, we've all read the books, we've heard the motivational quotes, but they're absolutely true. You're never going to be criticised by people that are doing more than you. Only the people that are doing less. And you just can't take these things to heart. And this is how you grow. It's by being bold and putting yourself out there. And you don't need to do it in a cocky or, aggressive way. You could just, in a confident way, you know. And if you've got a product or a service that you fully believe in and that you're aligned with, it should never be a problem. You showing up and speaking about that on social media. So
apart from TikTok.
apart from TikTok. Well, we all get ripped to shreds on TikTok
I'm not
well.
on TikTok. I know you are though. You told me a couple of stories before.
Oh my goodness, it is absolute torture. And you know what? Listen, I am not completely immune, and there was a time where I would come away from social media if there was too many comments in the 1 week, and I'd come back and I'd take a breather because I just wasn't at that confidence level yet where I was resilient enough to cope with it. And so I get it, I fully understand it, but
it seems
you realise these people are
they're bottom feeders.
Yeah.
Let's be honest. But
they're not your ideal clients.
No. But also, again, this is just an observation. You might not agree with this, but I think it's actually worse for women on socials when they're pushing themselves out, get attacked by more females.
Absolutely. And males.
Yeah.
You know, when I know really successful business women who are on there and their appearances getting pulled apart and, you know, maybe a word that they've said, like, what do you mean by that? Or they've maybe swore. I've seen this on LinkedIn the other day, somebody get picked up for swearing by... I just think, well...
LinkedIn police.
The LinkedIn police, you know. I've been picked up on there for, you know, spelling mistakes, and it's just crazy. But listen, it works, and you've got to just push that aside and focus on what you are getting. I got a lot of clients from LinkedIn, got a lot of clients from Instagram. And I'm not speaking to the people that are picking me up and stuff. I'm speaking to people who look at my content and think, right, she can help me. And that's what you need to do to grow a business. So it works.
What are the common mistakes that you see people back home, because that's most of your client base, making when it comes to sales and marketing? And I've made some massive mistakes before. What's the common mistakes that you've seen that you can then resolve?
I think a couple of things. I think the first thing is a lack of consistency is the big one, where they'll maybe post every day for 4 days, and then they'll disappear for 4 weeks. And I think people expect to put a post out there and make a sale.
Make £1 million.
It just doesn't work. You know, everybody, you know, Hormozy and Stephen Bartlett, they all speak about it. It's the compound effect, the impact of consistency. People give up too soon. And the big mistake that I see is people taking posts down because it gets 2 likes. And I'm like,
doesn't matter.
You have no idea. You're not posting for likes and engagement. Totally. You're posting for sales. And some of my biggest sales have came from the low engagement posts. And you need to just put that aside. You can't focus on it. So giving up too soon, focusing on the likes and the engagement rather than the actual sales that are happening behind it. The other thing is something that we touched on earlier, trying to help everyone, because then you become the generalist. And people don't want that. They want the specialist. And that's an old school marketing term, but it's so true. People want somebody that can help them with their specific issues, their specific problems, and their specific outcome. Not I can help anyone who with is everything. 30 plus, who lives in Dubai. It's like, well, God, you know, you're going to be filtering through that for a long, long time. So I think getting really, really specific and niching on the people that you find enjoyable, focusing on that problem that you know you are genius at, you know that you can solve that problem. That's when you start to speak to people. And that's the old saying, isn't it? When you've got a, what is it they say when you've got a sore back? It's like you don't go to the GP, you go to the back specialist, right? That's sales and marketing. People don't go to the marketing person. They go to the person that focuses specifically on online programs or, you know, whatever it is. So that's the kind of mistakes that I see. And I think everybody gets there eventually, but they get there by making the mistakes. And that's why I'm trying to speed up the process of, you don't need to do it that way, you do it this way. It's way more powerful. Yeah,
I resonate with all of that. I've done all of that. So
me too.
When we used to help people, business owners, with things, we would basically tell them we can do everything, because we could. You know, we can improve your cash flow, we can get rid of loads of debt, we can increase your margins, we can do your sales and marketing, we can restructure your business, we can we can do that full suite. And it's that kind of shotgun approach. You know, you better having a sniper approach. Hey guys, quick one before we jump back into the episode. If you're a business owner or a high-performing exec and you've ever thought about buying a business without risking your own cash, then I've built something for you. I've launched a brand new online mentorship program that breaks down exactly how I've done it. Real world strategies, no fluff, no recycled theory, just the stuff that actually works. If you want to learn how to find deals, structure them properly, and start building real wealth through acquisition, then click the link in the show notes or description and I'll see you inside. Now let's get back to the episode.
Definitely.
Yeah.
We're very similar in that sense, and that I think when you've been part of and built successful businesses, you have a wide skill set.
Yeah.
You understand the marketing, you understand the cash flow, you understand the leadership, you understand time, productivity, you understand it all. So the natural thing is to help people with it all.
Yeah.
But then you realise it's like, well, that's when it's difficult for people to really understand what it is that you do. And that's the big thing here. People should be able to look at your website and your Instagram and know instantly who you help.
Very clearly, yeah.
Very clearly, exactly. And that's the danger. When you do all the things, it's like people are just confused. It's like, or it's like, well, I don't really want help with that. I've nailed that side of things. So they end up just not getting in touch. Whereas when you're absolutely clear about what you do, which is what you guys have done now, it's very, very apparent what you do, who you help, and the type of people that you want to attract in. So that then leads to more sales rather than if you want this or that or this.
Yeah, and you can attract those higher ticket clients as well because, as you said, they can see very clearly what you do.
Yeah.
We've tried to niche down as well, like you said, and again going back to something you said earlier about your zone of genius and all the rest of it, zone of excellence. I would probably say I'm kind of similar to yourself in the sense that I was very good at ops because that's all I'd done throughout my early years, but I absolutely hated it.
Yeah.
I fucking hated it.
That's normally the thing, though.
Aye. And well, same again, I felt it very easy when I was dealing with 100 odd drivers every day and all the problems that come with that, but hated going to work in the morning. So getting away from that, and again, similar to yourself, I enjoy, whilst I'm nowhere near a specialist like yourself, the sales and marketing side.
Yeah.
I really enjoy that part of it, whether it's doing my own sales and marketing or helping other people.
Absolutely. It's such an enjoyable topic as well, but I think because you understand the impact of it, and obviously we've said a couple of times today, it's like when there's money in the bank, it's like, well,
Makes everything easier.
all the other problems are very like doable, manageable. So yeah, it's a very, very interesting topic, sales and marketing side of things.
Yeah. Okay. So there's not just yourself.
Yes.
You've got a able sidekick.
Well, yeah.
Which I think, there's obviously Steven, husband, wife team, business partners. But both of you, from the time I've been working with you guys, you both do different things and complement each other. Talk to him about the dynamic of that and how it works, because you've actually been in business pretty much since you met, is that right?
Yeah, pretty much. A few years later. Listen, it took a long time, to figure out the strengths, the weaknesses. How do we actually work together? How do we make it explosive? Because I think you can go down a very dangerous path. And I think a lot of people have said to me, I could never work with my other half, we would just end up, arguing all the time. Or do you not feel like it brings your business life into your home life?
Yeah.
And there's all that, and it takes a while to sort out the dynamics of it. Stephen and I never ever spend the weekends sitting talking about, cash flow and invoices and, all the rubbish stuff.
Yep.
What we do spend our time talking about is what's next.
Yep.
What else are we going to achieve? What are we working towards? What could we improve? What could we tweak? Actually, let's build another email funnel because that's going to feed into that. And that might be quite boring for people, but for us, we absolutely love it. So we found that sort of common ground, I suppose. And I've mentioned this in my Instagram, but I picked up Elena Cardone's book, Grant Cardone's wife, and it's about building an empire with your other half. And it gave me really, really great insights. And she mentioned a couple of things. She said, if you think that with your partner you're twice as strong, you're wrong. You're actually 10 times as strong because you can't buy that trust, that loyalty.
Yep.
If you're working towards the same end goal, it's explosive. And then she also said, every decision that you're making together is either building that empire or destroying the empire.
Ripping it.
And I'm like, it's so true. So then it's like all the little niggles and all the little, little arguments that you're having. It's like, is this really important? Like, what's best for the business?
Yeah.
What's the best thing? And that's what Stephen and I do really, really well. And it did take us a long time to sort of figure that out. But we have a very different approach, but we have the exact same end goal.
Yes,
and
the
that's what
vision's
makes
the
it. Vision is exactly the same. And different strengths as well. I am creative and I'm the pusher, let's go. Stephen's logical, analytical. He's like, great,
is
let's
this
do
going
it.
to work? Yes.
Let's figure out how this is going to piece together, and have you thought about this? And I'm like, no, I haven't. I just want to get it done.
Yeah.
So it's like the dynamics work really, really well, and we've transferred that into sales and marketing in two very different ways, even though there's a crossover. So I'm more of the done with you person. So I'll mentor people in their sales and marketing, you know, with their messaging, their positioning, their social media, their copy, you know, their offer suite, their price points, their value, their ideal clients, their avatars. You know, I get in really, really deep. Stephen's the done for you person, so he is the guy that manages the team to pull it all together, all the automation, all the email funnels, how it works, how it pieces together, and how it builds that really big marketing machine to generate as much sales as possible. And I love seeing the outcome of that, but I don't have the patience to oversee it all being built.
So you're more big picture, Stephen's more the detail.
Yeah, exactly that. So it works really, really well. And like I say, it took us a long time to figure that out, but now it is explosive. It's very, very rare that we'll have a disagreement over something. We're very good at listening to each other, but I think it's knowing the different strengths. And I appreciate his knowledge and expertise, and likewise, and there is a crossover where he'll say, I'm with this client, but we need the positioning to be better. Can you look at it? Yeah, no problem. And these are clients that I've never spoke to.
And both of you won't overstep into each other's area.
We just know what we're both good at. And I think the big thing in that is we know where we're most productive, and productivity is key. And same with the crossover clients. It's like, who's going to meet this client? Well, what's it about? Right, I'll do it. No, you do it, you know. So it's spending our time wisely as well, and making sure that our clients across the board are getting equal attention, equal support. But we've got different strengths, so it depends on what they need support with as to who goes. And sometimes both of us will go, you know, when you're initially building that relationship and building rapport. But we just wouldn't be productive if we went to every single meeting together. So yeah, it's brilliant. I wouldn't have another business partner now. I wouldn't. I just wouldn't. When you've worked together for years and years, and we've practically grown up together as well. We've been through a failed business. We've been through a lot of success. We've picked ourselves back up, and that taught us everything, you know. So now it just works, and I'm grateful for that. But it didn't come without its tests.
Yeah, totally. I think most people that get some kind of success have been through some kind of hardship, haven't they? And I mean, people can only see, people only ever see the Instagram highlights, the highlight reel, and you kind of, I've seen it many times with people as well. It's almost like an overnight thing where, wow, that person's absolutely smashing it, and looks like they've always been smashing it. But in reality, it's been years and years of making mistakes, losing money, wasting money.
Questioning yourself, overthinking, difficult clients not paying, you know, all these things are inevitable. It happens to everybody, and you know, we've been through a kind of similar, you know, experience as well. And I think it is important to bring that up, because you're right, people do see the highlights, the Dubai life, you know, the yachts and the brunches, and listen, it's absolutely amazing. You
can't fake that stuff.
You can't. Well, people accuse me. It's like, she's not actually in Dubai, she's hired a horse. I'm like,
green screen behind you.
How exhausting would that be? I think it's hilarious. But it's important to highlight that, you know, because people do see the fancy lifestyle, and I won't ever downplay that, because I basically, you know, rose from the ashes, if you like, to make that happen. So I won't downplay it, and I absolutely love it, and I've worked for everything that we have.
Nobody handed you?
Nobody ever handed it to me. I had to learn how to do it literally from the ground up. But it is important to highlight, because a big part of my story that I've covered in some different podcasts, and I won't go into it in great detail, but most people that know me know about, you know, the multi-million business. It failed in 2016. And I spent a lot of time talking about that, because people were fascinated by it. And I did get a lot of support. Through social media, and but it took a lot to pick myself back up, and, you know, that resilience, and it took a lot of confidence to put myself out there again, because I was convinced that people were talking about me and looking at me a funny way. Or
it's that energy drain. I've
been
there.
It's an energy drain.
Yeah, you kind of get stuck in your own vortex of negativity, where it's like, right, that's happened, now I need to step back and just move on.
Totally, 100%. And it's tough, you know, to stand back up. And I read a lot and did a lot of research, and, you know, there's horrible stories about people that go through a failed business and what happens to them. And, you know, they just don't ever do it again because it's too painful. And I can relate to that because it was a terrible, terrible time, you know. But listen, we stood back up, we dusted ourselves off, and I say a lot now. I'm like, you know, that was 8.5 years ago. That's not, it's a part of me.
It's a lifetime ago, yeah.
But it's not my story anymore. My story's now. My story's Dubai and business and who I'm helping. But, you know, if I can share something really quickly, because I think this definitely helped me, you know, and people say things to try and get you out of that process, like, oh, you know, failure's an event, it's not a person. I'm like, oh, you've got no idea, you know, you've got no idea how I'm feeling. But I did a lot of research, and what I learned was, and I've added my own take on this to make sense, but the failure thing's, it's like a parking spot. So what happens to most people is they pull over in this parking spot, and what most of them do is they about turn and they go back the way. So they go back to the old job, the old boss.
What feels comfortable.
Yeah, what feels comfortable, the one-man band, you know, blah, blah, blah. Most people actually stay where they're at, and they stay in that same environment of what you said. It's like negativity and, you know, same conversations and same people and same routine. And actually that's all it is. It's a parking spot. It's that place for you to pull over, reflect.
Assess where you are.
Learn. Get the map out, plan out that next step of the journey, and then go again. And, you know, the thing about it is, what people don't realise is they think when they have a failed business or a massive failure in life that they have to about turn and go back to the starting point. They don't.
And that it defines them going forward.
It doesn't mean anything. When you understand that it's just a pit stop, it's just a reflect, recharge, refuel, get your head together, get your energy together, map out the next part, and go again. When people get that, and I wish so much that I'd got that, because I stayed in that parking spot for about 2 years. Victim mindset, feeling sorry for myself, thinking that everybody was talking about me, blaming myself, I'm not good enough, I don't have what it takes. If only I could get out of that. And the other thing that I will say as well is be careful who you take advice from. Because a lot of the family and friends, they have good intentions, but they'll fill your head with, you don't need this stress in your life. You know, go
gave
back
it a try.
to, you know, well done. You know, you go back to get that financial security, do this, do that, or, you know, I don't want to say, but people were saying, you know, and it's like, it kills you. But when I started taking advice from the successful entrepreneurs, they looked at me like I had horns. They were like, I don't understand what the issue is. I'm like, well, it's failed, you know, it's collapsed. And it's like, right, I've got 3 failures under my belt. That's why I'm here where I am today. And it's speaking to the right people, and that's what spurred me on. And that's why I'm here today. Because of the failed business, because I took advice from the right people, that's why I'm sitting here today. And I wish more people could see that it's such a crucial part of the journey. It's not a setback. It doesn't mean that you're not good enough. It actually doesn't mean anything. You just need to take what you've learned.
It's just a moment in history, it happens.
It's just a moment in your journey, you know. And it's like trying to climb a mountain with no tough hills and tough terrain. It's like it's not gonna happen. You know.
I know the answer to this, but I'm guessing you wouldn't have changed. Looking back, you wouldn't change any part of that. It's a lesson that you take.
Never. It is the best thing that's happened to Steven and I. And obviously, when you're going through it, it's the worst thing. You know, and it's horrible. You know, your whole purpose and everything. It questions it, and it was a really, really horrible time in our life. But when you come out the other end, and I can see how that was actually, I'm not going to get too woo-woo with the whole universe and blah, 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 but you can actually see that was pushing us onto a different path, a different direction.
It was actually giving you the option, you can go this road.
It was an opportunity. It was an opportunity. And all we seen it to be at the time was a failure, a disappointment, a setback, you know, and it was the complete opposite of that. You know, it was putting us on the different path, and we often look back now and say that business couldn't have kept going at the rate that it was going at. Steven would have ended up under immense pressure. Our health would have been, you know, under pressure, because that's all we knew, trading time for money and being hands-on and blah, blah, blah. Next one. So it was an opportunity. So that's why I still like to talk about it to this day, although it's not who I am anymore.
Of course.
It's a big part of why I'm here today. And I'd love for people just to be, if they're in a difficult situation just now, to know that this is all opportunity, and it's all putting them on a path to bigger and better things.
Take the lesson.
And take the lesson. because that is where the lessons are. You know that, you learn. Again, it's cliche in the books, isn't it? Oh, you learn from your failures. You actually do.
Yep.
That's where the knowledge and expertise comes from. That's why we've been able to build more successful businesses off the back of that, because you go, oh, that doesn't work, or actually, let's take what worked and let's amplify it, because there was a lot that did work, and it worked for 10 years.
Yep.
So, yeah, it's been mindful and, open to that. It's not easy, and I know a lot of people never go into business again, but I think about this every single day. If I hadn't got out of that and made the decision to go back in again, I wouldn't be here. I wouldn't be,
But you'd probably be miserable as well if you went back into some kind of corporate job or
of course I would.
If safety.
You become unemployable as well when you've had your own business, don't you?
Yeah.
You just, So I'm really, really glad. But I wish, people say you shouldn't have regrets. I do regret the time that I spent in that parking spot, because it was a waste. Yeah. And I was just all in my own head. Probably half the stuff wasn't even happening.
But by
just
the way,
in my head.
to use that analogy, I was probably in the parking spot for about a year and a half as well.
Yeah. Do you regret that?
No, I don't. I don't regret it, because I was trying things at that time where, it kind of made me realise, right, I definitely don't want to do that.
Yeah.
And I definitely don't want to do this. And then, it pushed me on a wee bit. Had I not went through that wee spell, again, wouldn't be here.
Exactly.
So, no, I hear you and I resonate with a lot of that stuff. So, here in Dubai or back home in the UK, it's not just you and Steven, though, you've got a team of people, haven't you?
We do. So we've got a really, really good team of people that we use. It's our business as well. So they are basically our team that pulls everything together, from like the websites, the social media, the build team, we call it. And they're amazing at what they do. Facebook ads, it's been a long time in the making as well, because we didn't just want to start a business and employ loads of people to do things. We wanted specialists. We wanted the people that were at the best at Facebook ads, the best at social media, the best at building email funnels. So again, something else that's taken time. And again, through the last businesses, we didn't want to employ 25 people. We wanted a small team that can cope. And we've got people that we outsource to as well that become part of our team as and when we need it. And we've got a great relationship with them. So, it's worked out really, really well. And that allows us to obviously extend that help to other business owners as well. So, it's worked out well. But again, long time in the making, isn't it? Because employing people is a totally different kettle of fish.
Oh, God, aye. Totally. So the mastermind and the people that you help in your programs,
yes.
How's that going?
It's going amazingly well. So the mastermind has also niched into pure marketing and sales.
Okay.
And I help a very, very wide range of business owners. So in there at the moment, I've got accountants, interior designers, estate agents, printers, massive life coaches, massive range of people, but it's all very niche around sales and marketing. Okay. So I'll help them get their positioning correct, their messaging right. I'll teach them about email funnels, how to sell, behind the scenes. And it's going really, really well. We've got a really nice group of people in there, and ranging again, people that have been in business for 2 years to people that have been in business for 15, that they've bonded as well. And it's really, really nice to see
almost
that
like a community.
It's a community, that's the word. It's a space that I'm really proud of. That's my scalable model. And it evolves and adapts all the time based on the people that are inside, because there's no ego involved. And I'm constantly saying to them, what do you guys want to see? Where does this need to improve? What would help you even more? So they're getting to design it, I would probably say as well. But I just love that space. It's an opportunity for me as well. You feel like this when you create a space that you can go into and feel inspired as well. Because I become inspired by their wins.
You see the results and stuff,
and that's not about me, that's about them. I like to see them evolve and grow and achieve. So, and I like, I say this to people all the time, it's like if you look through your WhatsApp group, what's inspiring in there? What conversations are you having? Or is it problems,
For me, 50-50.
Need to clear that out. And for me, that's a space, when I hear that little ping, I'm like, oh, what's happening inside the mastermind group? Because even when it's a problem, it's done in such a positive way. They're looking for solutions.
Well, that is business, isn't it? Business is problem solving.
Of course it is. And I say that all the time. This is not a fluffy space where you need to come in and pretend that everything's good. And it's the opposite. if you've got issues with staff or you've got issues with your social media, get in here and let's chat about it. If you get issues with low sales, and this is what I really like about it, they're so open and honest, and that's the other thing that I say about the mastermind. The more open and honest you are, the better the results. Don't come in here and say your sales are at an all-time high if they're at an all-time low. If they're at an all-time low, I'm going to get in there and I'll help you. If they're at an all-time high, I'm just assuming you're doing great and you don't need me. So be honest, and they're really, really good at that, because that happens to the best of us. Sometimes you have 3 great months and then 2 months are not. Why? What's changed? You know, let's look at it. Let me get eyes on your social media. Send me your email. Let's have a look at it. So, no, it's working out really, really well, and I've got plans to expand that massively. So,
and you do one-to-ones as well, don't you?
I do one-to-one. So, as I'd said earlier, I'm more of the kind of done with you. So I like to mentor people on their sales and marketing. People like one-to-one because it's so specific to them and their business. And a lot of people like that daily support as well, especially if they're just moving into the online space. They've got loads of questions, and they like that hands-on support. But yeah, one-to-one clients I absolutely love as well, because it feels like my business. When I'm going to sleep at night, I'm like, actually, that's a good idea.
The thing is with you guys, because you've ran businesses for years, you've had successes, the failures, the lessons, all that stuff. You're not just another market, because anybody can say I'm a marketing person. You know, anybody can say it. There's no qualification. You can say you're good at doing social media or whatever, but there's no backstory behind that, whereas you guys have kind of experienced everything and can piece it all together.
And you don't realise that when you're building the successful businesses, how much sales and marketing is a... I mean, I don't think we used those words when we were building our businesses. You know, it's like, right, we need to get that done and we need to get that done. There was no focus on sales and marketing. And then when you come out the other end, you realise it was all sales and marketing. And this is the thing, we don't just teach the online stuff about the social media, the email funnels, the meta ads. It's like, well, how else are you marketing your business? How are you showing up? You know, what's your energy? What are people feeling? What's the first impressions? Who are you building relationships with? Where are you spending your time? It goes much wider than that, and that's how we built our first businesses. It was all about building relationships and making ourselves visible in the face-to-face sense, not just visible on the online space. So there's a huge part of that as well, and even the decisions that you make, the emails that you send, you are marketing yourself at all times. And that's where I think people don't get it. They think...
It's how you show up, isn't it?
How you show up in every sense, how people feel when they're in your company, you know, how people feel when you're having those conversations, when even WhatsApps, you know, that I'll help people with. I'm like, don't say that. You know,
change that word.
Say it in this way, change that word. Because that word can mean something totally different. So you're always marketing your business every single day. So it's not just about the online space. We teach a lot of that as well, because that's where we learned before the social media was an absolute essential. So
okay. So as we begin to wrap up, it's been an amazing conversation, and I think the audience will get a lot of value from it, Angela. You can resonate with they can resonate with a lot of things we've spoken about here. If people want to get in touch with you, if they want to work with you in your mastermind, in your one-to-one, see Steven, who's more behind the scenes, what's the best way to reach out to you?
So I'm very, very active on Instagram and LinkedIn. So I get most of my DMs come through LinkedIn and Instagram. So Instagram's Angela McKillop Business. If people are looking for a wee insight into the Dubai life as well, that's where it's all at. That's the best way. Obviously, I've got my website where people can fill out a form, get in touch. But I give a lot of value on Instagram and LinkedIn as well. So even if people are not looking to connect from a client perspective, it's a great place just to get more of today, you know, the little hints, tips, and plant those seeds to make people think, how am I showing up actually? Or that's something that I need to focus on. So that's the place.
Awesome. Well, it's been a pleasure. Thanks very much for coming on.
Thank you so much.
And
Loved it.
We'll do a round 2 at some point, I'm sure, in the future.
Absolutely.
Amazing.